everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show.
Hey, everybody.
I can't hear you at all. I don't know why, but it's good. Why can't I hear my co-host? Can he talk again? Okay, good. Anyways, say something. Nope, can't hear a word. And we lost me. And we lost me. Anyways, I don't know. The whole show, and I hear buzzing in my head. Why do I hear buzzing in my head? I know something's wrong here.
It's not good.
Well, what could I do? Anyways, everybody, welcome to the show. I'm sure you don't hear me. I'm sure you can't see me. I can't hear a word you're saying. I can't hear a word. I keep throwing stuff at them. I have a buzzing in my head. I don't know what to tell you guys. I hear a buzzing in my head, and I can't hear anything. I apologize to you, and I know you hear buzzing on the Instagram as well. Can you please shut it off? Just shut off the whole show. I mean, we don't care, really. Do you hear still buzzing?
I hear the buzzing.
And we don't hear ourselves,
Hello?
right? Do you hear yourself?
Hello? No.
Yeah, he ruined the show again. Nothing new. It's my fault. Anyways, we're going to keep crying about having the show bad. I'll take the other broken headset, if you don't mind. Anyways, everybody, I have a lot to talk about. I want to talk about Israel tonight. I still can't hear myself, but that's fine. Oh, now I can hear myself. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? No. Well, I can hear me. I don't know what's wrong. I want to just tell you guys something very interesting before our other people come on the show. And here's what my problem is. My problem is that everybody has everybody else's advice. Everybody else talks to everybody else about something else, and it's just wrong. For example, Israel with the attack from Iran. Everybody's telling me you can't do this, you could do this. You know, like people said, if you would be attacking New York City, we'd be going after you. They blew up the World Trade Center, and we went after them. I mean, we went after a whole country. We took over a whole country. I don't know. What do you have to say about that? Can you talk even into the mic?
Heshy, do you hear me now?
I hear nothing. And they're working on it. How could they be working on it when the show starts? I hope you guys can hear me. I'm always complaining because I pay my dues a lot of money, and they really don't care. What else do I want to tell you? I want to tell you about New York City's marches, how people are telling us in the United States of America, they want America to die. If you would have watched my video today, and especially you people on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, you would have seen them stating straight out that we want, America to burn? What would they say?
Death to America.
Death to America. I still can't hear him. I don't know why. Because
you don't hear me at all?
Not at all. Sorry.
I hear an echo.
I know I hear echo because of why don't we just switch his mic, because you producers don't know what you're doing. And you see how I complain? Because the producers just don't care. They just stand there smiling. We are going to talk about Donald Trump, how they are setting up this America for loss. I mean, we have people waiting 5 years to go to criminal court in Rikers Island. We have people that are, the guy who killed the police officer, what's his name, Diller, right?
Yes, something like that.
You got to talk into the mic. I don't know what.
Something like that.
No, it's still not working. I don't know. My producers just have no idea what to do. And we're starting our show. As a matter of fact, we're going to be having a lot of people join us in a moment. Can you talk now?
Let's try it.
No. Can't hear a word you're saying. Do you know that the show he stops talking? Anyways, the guy who killed the cop, he had like nine felonies that we had on him. 9?
Something like that.
Don't even talk. We can't hear what you're saying. Anyways, welcome to the show. Right now, I'm going to be welcoming to the show in a few minutes. Live.
Hello, Heshy. Do we think we finally got it?
I think we finally fixed you up. Yeah, thank you, Tom. George, welcome back to my show, because I didn't know you even existed for 5 minutes.
They try to censor me, as a Republican.
I know that as a Republican, and also you're a supporter of...
Are the producers Democrats?
They are Democrats.
Of course.
Of course they are, even though I'm switching them to Republicans. What I want to tell you is we have a presidential election coming up. We have people being, you have a guy like Diller, Officer Diller, who was killed by a guy. I think he had like 26 arrests, 9 felonies. He was out on 9 separate things. And what happened? He went out to kill. But President Trump, who has an E felony, they're trying to convict, and they're not even letting him go to the Supreme Court to fight.
They don't want to even allow him to go to his son's graduation. Did you hear about that?
I can't believe that. I would just tell the judge, go F yourself.
Yeah, so he obviously has to tell him, like, listen, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there, and one of the things on the list was his son's graduation. So they were like, well, maybe not.
Well,
Can you believe that?
it. Anyways, welcome to our show, WSNR Radio Channel 620 AM. Thank you, our listeners, for joining from WNEW FM HD3 and WPIVDL, whatever your number is in Miami. But I like you guys because I love Miami. And I'm going to go to Miami, maybe.
Do we want to tell people the phone number to call?
Yes, call into the show.
646-974-1580 or 347-242-1358. Feel free to call in.
Yeah, what's the other number?
347.
No, there's no other number. I don't know why you even see another number. I know it's on your sticker. Don't even look at it. 646-974-1580. 646
I told you, these guys are Democrat producers.
These producers have us all messed up. I want you to know something, and I'm going to tell you my joke and quote first, and then we're going to have a lot to talk about. And please call in with your comments, or you can go into the YouTube channel and do our comments. But here's my quote. Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I'm wise, so I wanted to change myself. You know, I thought that the world was wrong, and I wanted to fix the world, and I still do. But the truth of the matter is there's no way to fix the world. I'm trying, George. I'm really trying.
No, I understand. I mean, that's the whole reason why you're running, isn't it?
Yeah.
At least to fix your, couple of zip codes at least.
Okay, right. But I am going to change myself. I am a little wiser. I figure if I can somehow do what you want me to do, to compromise, to be more statesman-like, maybe I can make some changes. Maybe I can make my change. And I want to tell you something that I heard. A wonderful little quote, a wonderful little thing that I heard, and you're going to love this, okay? It's like, it bothers me that I have to tell you this, but the truth of the matter is it does, and I'm asking you, here, listen to this. Here is some wisdom for you to all think about. You know, you don't know where you want to be. You feel like you're supposed to be somewhere else, and I do that. So if I could just snap my fingers and be wherever I wanted to be, I bet I would still feel this way, just like you guys. I wouldn't be in the right place. The point is, you can't get so hung up where you would rather be, then you forget the most important thing, that where you are. Take a break from worrying what you can't control and live in the moment. So yeah, I want to be other places. I want to get other things done. I want to think changes, but they're not going to happen. So sometimes I get hung up with that. I'm not going to be hung up with that, George. I'm going to understand where I am right now. I don't know. I'm going to be where I am going to be right now. I'm going to do what I have to do right now.
Heshy, are you ever going to go on a vacation? Talking about going to another place?
I want to go on vacation, but there's so much to do. Like right now, I'm having a new grandson any minute.
I understand, but you're not the one delivering.
I know, but the family. You see, I believe in building a family. I believe, I know you don't believe in God so much, George. Stop it, George. You know you don't believe in God.
I do believe in God.
You believe in God, but yeah, I don't know.
I believe in God, and I believe in the other guy, Jesus, too.
No, I'm not saying you don't believe in Jesus or God. I think they're all the same, But the truth of the matter is. It doesn't make a difference what you believe in, but you have to believe that there is a creator that created this world. You know that.
I believe that. I actually was having that argument today with somebody, and I'll talk about, is there an afterlife?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I want to tell you, do you know that if gravity was just a little bit more than it is now, the whole world would collapse? If gravity was just slightly more powerful, the universe would fall apart, and there would be no stars or planets. Gravity is precisely as strong as it needs to be. And its ratio to the electromagnetic force, you like that word?
Yeah.
To the strong force is just 1%, would just be 1% different, life would not exist.
You know what they call that?
What?
The theory is called intelligent design.
Okay, exactly.
Because if everything had to be perfect for life to be created on this planet.
So what are the odds that all this happened by itself? And just like you said, it has to be intelligent design. So why am I making you, why am I
By the way, a scientist once said, the odds of that happening are that you just took a bunch of, you raked through a junkyard, and at the other end there was a 747. the chances of that happening are
Impossible.
impossible.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not trying to make you believe in God, but the precision of the universe at least makes it logical that there is a creator. And there was almost 8 billion people on this planet. And I have a woman that's almost perfect for me. I had a mother and a father that seemed to be perfect. And my kids, I seem to be perfect to be a father to them. Now, of course, we're not all perfect, but somehow we all work out. The odds that usually that all of us work out or have the right fathers or have the right mothers are just like, it's impossible. And we're all doing the right thing because God knows the game. God knows how to do it all. And I believe in God, and I know that you guys all believe in God. And I just know that you better start believing in it because I have to believe in it because I hope Trump wins this election. I hope Trump wins this court case, even though they're setting him up. I mean, you know that you're supposed to have what is it? You're allowed to have as many, when you're picking a jury, you're allowed to knock off as many people as you want. What's it called?
This is why we need Nicole, because me and you are not attorneys.
Right. What is it? I think I have it written down. Anyways, you're allowed to have as many, I don't know, denials or knockoffs as possible. And they're only giving him 10 now. And the judge is stopping it. You can't do that. If you don't like a jury, he's making a... And you know what? He wanted to change venue. It's not like a murder case. It's a stupid, what is it?
It's a hush money case.
It's not even a hush money. It's a business case that he did something crooked in a business, an e-felony, and they're making a big deal of it.
I mean, believe it or not, it happens all the time in this country.
But America, but it doesn't make a difference if they come after you and me. And here what it is, we're going to get, 6 months in jail or probation. Here they're going after a man to stop him. He can't even campaign for 6 weeks while the President Biden can't campaign. They're cheating. Just stop this stupid trial for a few months. I'm trying to...
the way they're trying to make democracy safe by keeping him off the ballot. That's what
I know.
We got to keep democracy safe.
Do you know how long it takes to evict somebody in New York City now? It used to take 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. I keep telling you that. It takes 6 months. Now, you're losing 6 months rent. Let's just calculate your rent is $2,000.
6 months. That's.
It used to be 6 months.
Oh, I was going to say.
Now it's 2 years. So you're losing at $2,000 a month rent. You're losing about $50,000 in rent over the 2 years. Plus you're paying your lawyer. Plus you're paying time. It's costing you $100,000 to $150,000 to evict somebody today.
Plus they destroyed the apartment.
They destroy the apartment. Plus, my son and me, we went to evict somebody. And finally, we got all the evictions. We went down to the marshal. We said, I understand we have the judgment already. 3 months, you're supposed to take them out. We're behind. I said, how are you behind? Well, we're doing other stuff. We're towing cars. We're raising money for the city. But you're getting a piece. The marshals and the sheriffs get like 25 or 30%.
No, there's it's the greatest gig in the city of New York. Being a marshal in the city of New York it's very lucrative. I mean,
right.
And there's about 50 of them, I think, or 52.
When I become city council, I want to shut down the marshal and sheriff's agency, combine them with the police force, and have a special unit that doesn't make any money towing cars. Today, you know what I saw now? They have a new unit that instead of booting your car because it takes too long, they take this windshield.
The barnacle thing on top.
And they block your windshield. They block your windshield, and there's a computer tracking it. I would rip it off. I don't really care, even though they say...
Heshy, you can rip it off, but you're going to break the windshield.
No. So, again, they're towing your car for $300. Plus the fines and the tickets is another $200. Break the windshield, it only costs $300 to replace.
Not on a BMW, does it?
I got that. You're right. Well, a BMW that's being towed has a lot of money. Again... What they're doing to President Trump is illegal. What they're doing, again, I know people sitting in jail or people sitting with sex trafficking, sex abuse cases, beating their wives, people that have stabbed, robbed, not once, many times. Their cases are being postponed 2, 3, 4 years. I just heard a judge now just telling me that they came out with a new law that if they feel that you are a safety risk to the public or a public safety risk, we can lock you up in jail for no bail.
Unfortunately, that's going to be the workaround to lock people up.
I know that, but people who protest and beat up cops. I had a protest and they lost my thing and they kept me in jail for 2 days. You're right. I'm like a Trump supporter. I was a mini Trump during COVID, so they wanted to punish me. And the most they were able to do is punish me for 2 days, put me through court trial, threaten me. They threatened me also with the e-felony, and then they lowered me to a misdemeanor and said if I go to trial, I'm going to lose because the judge is going to lower my case, so I can't have a jury trial, and they're going to keep me locked up and they're going to sentence sentence me with the judge. So I had to make a deal. They're doing this here, and now all these Palestinians who they march on the bridge. They say, "Death to America." They're burning the American flag in the streets.
One of the protesters lit somebody up put a lighter or whatever, something that was lit, and lit the guy's back, and the guy almost caught fire, and he took it. He took his shirt off in time,
and we're allowing this. They're walking around.
Why didn't that guy get arrested for assault?
They're walking around with Hamas flags and Hezbollah flags. Now, when they do some damage to New York City, or there is a terrorist thing that happens, don't come crying. Hey, we asked you to stop. Why are you letting these people think? In one of my videos, they were teaching them how to say "death to America." It's just a shame that, I was watching last week the basketball game between LSU and Iowa State. The women's basketball game, like this final stuff.
You're into that?
I like basketball, yeah. And even when it comes to the March Madness, you know what I mean, the Sweet 16, whatever. Even the women's side did very interesting basketball. In this special game, they had the Iowa State people listening to the national anthem, and the LSU walked out. Now, I understand you can't stand the 90-second national anthem, but LSU stands for, listen to this, Louisiana State University. This is a state of the United States of America. How do you walk out during the national anthem? At least they didn't bow or take a knee, you know what I mean? How do you walk out not listening to the national anthem, a country that's giving you your freedom, but when you need us? Remember that girl that was arrested, that basketball player in Russia? Now she's back. What's her name? Whatever that idiot's name.
Yeah. What about her? Because
now she stays on for the national anthem. Now she doesn't take a knee. Why all of a sudden? What happened?
Well, listen, she learned a harsh lesson.
She learned a hard lesson. The lesson
I
is
think
that,
in Brooklyn we call it FAFO.
What is that?
You'll fill in the blanks.
Okay. All I can tell you is, my friends, we have cop killers out there, people that are abusers, getting away with stuff. The cops are scared to do anything. And then again, you have cops that are telling us that there are some bad cops out there, and most of them are good. I tell you, this week I had a bunch of cops that wanted to come on my property. They said, "You can't come on the Fourth Amendment." I can do what I want if I have this special clause that I feel it's a safety.
Well, he's saying probable cause.
What I said, you can't do that. You can't just make stuff up. The building department is now threatening somebody because they couldn't get into his building, that it's unsafe and we're going to knock it down, and he had the deputy mayor call him. I said, they can't do that. So I have a lawyer now suing. Everything is lawsuit, lawsuit, lawsuit. And the city has so many lawyers that they keep beating you down. And most likely you could beat them because most of their lawyers are idiots and stupid idiots. They're not qualified to be lawyers. They practice there and then they come on. Most of them that are lawyers for 20, 30, 40 years are there for the pensions and just the easy jobs because they're lazy, good for nothing. There's one guy from the Oath. He's the head of the Oath now, Mr. Burns. The man is a bum. He's there for 30 years. He's a bum, and all he knows is how to torture people. The man is a bum, and he hurts people, and he goes after us one after another. He's so happy because he's an idiot, and the only thing he knows how to do is stupid court cases that have violations. These are the people that we hire in the city of New York. That's why the city of New York is over budget by 20, 30%. You guys have to come out to vote. You guys have to support me. And you know why? Here it is why. Because we have Green Line. I'm going to do the commercials now. You don't mind if we do commercials?
We got to pay for these magnificent producers.
That's right, who don't know how to run the show. Is there anybody talking to you on YouTube?
Listen, Infinite Justice knows what FAFO means, so
You got to tell me what that is.
F around and find out.
So great. Green Line Building Compliance, that's my company who I fight for all the time. And cops came this week when I wouldn't let them on a property. Not one cop, 8 cops showed up. I'm screaming at them on the Fourth Amendment. We're going to come on your property. He says, no, you're not going to come on my property. And I'm quoting them, if we want to come, we will come. I said, get a warrant. No, we don't need a warrant. And I said, listen to me. You're going to have to arrest me because I'm going to fight you. You're threatening us? I said, you better believe it. You walk on my property, I'm going to protect myself, and I'm going to attack your back, I told the cop. Cop says, you think I'm scared of you? I said, you think I'm scared of you? Come on my property. I said, there's a gate here and a sign that says you can't come on here. What public safety? What kind of probable cause? Then the detective came.
Why didn't you call the local councilman? I heard he's great.
Yeah, the local council. And then the sergeant showed up. And at the end, they all agreed that they're not going to come on the property. They're not going to let the neighbors on the property. But we should get owner's permission. I said, I rent the property. Because I rent the property, nobody, if you rent out a building, can you walk in there without permission?
You mean if I don't own the building across the street or whatever.
No, you own the building and you rent out one of your
Oh
apartments.
no, I can't just go into the apartment. It's a big problem.
Right, because you rented it out. It belongs to them during their rental phase.
I mean, people get in trouble for that.
Right, and the cops are saying no. Green Line Building Compliance, 202 Forster Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11230. I fight the city. I help you with violations. I help you with permits. I help you get your jobs to the finish line. And I help you fight a city that just is out to get you. Anyways, what do you got there? You got something.
I got a business I'm working on, Fee Eraser. We help small business.
How do you spell that?
FEEERASER.
Fee Eraser.
Yeah, we help businesses erase their credit card processing fees.
Very nice.
So it's feeeraser.com. You go out there and fill out a form, and we'll get in touch with you, and we'll help your business.
How much does this cost?
It costs nothing.
How do I get in touch with you?
Just go onto the website, feeeraser.com.
No telephone number?
Not as it's supposed to come up. We just got a new number.
Okay,
718-492-1671. And you can call us. And
what's the number? Say it again.
718-492-1671.
Or you can just email to justenoughheshy@gmail.com, JUSTENOUGHHESHY.com. JustEnoughHeshy@gmail.com, and we will get you to the right place. Don't forget Green Line. I forgot to give you the phone number, 718-871-0382. And, of course, most importantly, my dear children, we have Crossroads. This is a place that has psychological help for you if you're having depressions or whatever it is. Crossroads, they're located at 206 West Parkway Drive in Egg Harbor Township. Don't be embarrassed to call them. They're very discreet. 609-645-2146. 609-645-2146. They're there to help you. If you have a depression, you have a problem, even when you're kids, I know if you don't listen to the show, pick up the phone, make a call, see if they can help you, man. It doesn't pay to hurt yourself. Life is too short to play around. 609-645-2146. And most importantly, you know what we forgot
Get the help you need.
Get the help you need. You know what most important you forgot? HeshyTishler.com.
Yes, obviously.
Okay. I'm running for city council, guys.
Those producers threw us off.
I know that. You need me in city council. You need me to fight for you. You need my changes. I could use a donation. I'm there, guys. I'm there. There's nobody yet running against me. You know, they're trying to put up Simcha Felder to run against me. They're trying to take a senator because they know I'm going to win this one just to come against me because he was popular here. He was a city council. They're trying to put this guy, Penny Ringo, who the mayor backs, who does nothing for the city. He tells me, "Oh, I want to run." I said, "You don't even live in the district."
He's like de Blasio's friend.
Right, he is de Blasio. He was one of them who had me arrested. And you know what? He wants to come and run against me, and he hasn't raised the money. So you know what I told him? I said, "You know, I've been working on this game for 3 months, and my campaign manager has been very strict on me. But if you get straw donations, we're going to check each donation that you put in if you do anything illegal. If you don't move into the district when you win and you put, they have to live 5 days a week in the district. Now, you're telling me he's going to have a regular house with his wife and kids and not moving to the district without furniture? We're going to come and check that you're doing this legit. If not, you're going to jail. I'm not a rat, but you're not going to hurt my community. You're not going to move in there without permission."
Somebody thinks Simcha Felder is a good dude.
I don't know. Simcha Felder is a great dude. I have no problem with him, but what has he done for you?
Yeah, but just think about it this way. Simcha Felder was a senator. Then he decides, he
was a councilman.
He's a councilman.
Quit in middle. Then he became a controller. Quit in middle. Then he became senator, and he sat there. And I want you to know, with no competition ever in the both, he switched from Democrat to Republican. Then he switched back to Democrat. Here's my deal: the man in 3 years hasn't even done any votes. He doesn't even go to city council. He has a job as a professor. You're busy being a professor, which he's a great professor. He was my son's professor. He gave my son an A. But my point is he's a professor. He sits on boards doing private work. When do you have time to be a senator in Albany?
I mean, listen, you should at least fulfill your commitment to the community. I mean, you got elected.
You got to be taking phone calls. You got to be doing events. You can't be going. Now they went out to give out Passover food. There was some big organization like the Met Council.
We did some of that too.
Right, and I also do. I do that every week. So these politicians, they show up. They give out a couple of bags for like an hour or two, and they leave. That's what they did for photos. I do this every week. I do this all the time. But you guys think Simcha Feld is a good dude. He's a great dude. He's a nice man. You're all nice people. But you got to serve your community, and I serve the community day and night, and I'm happy to do it. It's my pleasure. Whether I win, lose, or draw, I'm very happy to do that. Anyways, Passover is coming next week. We're not gonna have a show next Wednesday.
Well, I plan on being on vacation next week.
I heard you're going to Jamaica.
I am going to Jamaica.
Wow.
I'm very excited about it.
I don't. Anyways, I want to.
I might not come back.
No, you're coming back. I know you were coming back. I want to tell you something, guys. Everybody in this country today thinks they could take advantage, especially the Palestinians. Over here, they're not even real Palestinians, but some of these people are just protesting for no reason. Israel was attacked by Iran, George. You know that, right?
I mean, it's kind of hard to miss.
300 missiles, and not one missile hit. Maybe a few hit some land over there, but only like one. I heard 7-year-old Arab-Israeli girl got hit. You know that? Her injured. Here's my question to you. Do you not think that God is not watching the land of Israel when 300 missiles come running and not one of them causes damage to Israel?
I mean, it's also that Iron Dome thing.
The Iron Dome, and Jordan helped him, and Israel helped him. Everybody chipped in, and when we worked together...
Didn't Saudi Arabia help too?
I heard Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is saying that Iran is a terrorist state.
So you're saying there's some good Arabs?
Most Arabs are good. You're talking some.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, no, I'm not knocking the Arabs. I'm not knocking. I had Palestinian friends when I used to tour Israel. I used to have a lot of Palestinian friends when I used to drive through the West Bank and all of that. And matter of fact, they came and stayed in my house. I have a lot of Palestinian people and Arab Americans that are my friends here that I work with. I go to mosques. I help mosques. There are some crazy that are protesting for no reason. Now they're telling Israel.
Well, they're getting paid. Come on, let's be honest.
That.
These Palestinians.
They have to because they don't have jobs.
They don't look all Palestinian. They don't look all Arabic. A lot of these people don't look like they have any kind of day job, and they look like they're getting paid.
I know that. This is just crazy. And you know what bothers me the most? That even some of these stupid liberals that just have no idea. You're telling me now you saw Israel getting attacked. Forget about Palestine. Iran. Can we go and attack back Iran? Can we now go back? The place that they attacked, by the way, was in Syria. Not even Iran. Iran was next to the embassy was next to some kind of a terrorist or a camp or whatever. So whatever they blew up wasn't even supposed to be there. And Iran now attacked from their country, stating, "Oh, if you come back and get us, we're going to go come you more." Israel has a right to retaliate. And Benjamin Netanyahu said, we're thinking nobody's going to tell us what to do. I agree. I think Israel should retaliate. But the truth of the matter is, if Iran says it's over, we had to show Iran that their shoulders are standing tight. If this is all Iran wanted was to shoot some missiles just because Israel killed them, and if this
By
is
the way,
over...
the United States probably paid for those missiles. We released money to them.
Billions and billions of dollars. Yeah. Okay, if the Iran war with Israel is over right now, I'm happy. Maybe it should be that way, that Israel, since nothing happened to Israel. But again, we don't have to show might. We don't have to show restraint either. Of course not. But if it was just done as a show, and Iran supposedly knew that none of the missiles would get through, let's leave it alone. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to say. But here's the thing. Everybody sues everybody. I was watching today a video of a lesbian woman.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We're going there?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what I am upset about. Not that she was a lesbian. She was married to another lesbian. And that's what they're called, lesbian women, right? One of them wanted to get a baby. So she went and got to the sperm bank and she made herself pregnant.
Okay.
And she got a baby. She ended up getting divorced from her spouse who supported her. The spouse was supporting her and she was the mother to the baby.
Okay.
Because she was the birth mother.
How long were they married?
A couple of, maybe a year or so, whatever. That wasn't even a long time.
Oh, boy.
Now, this lady that was married to her is not giving her any spousal support. I guess she doesn't have to. It's not a real marriage, or it was a real marriage.
No, it's a real marriage. She should give spousal support.
I don't think so, because the
Hey,
baby wasn't hers anyway.
Hold on a second. If women want equity, if they want if they want equal rights, then they got to pay just like men would have to pay.
Well, the point is, she claimed this other lesbian who divorced her says, you don't even have my name on the birth certificate, so I'm not responsible for the baby. So this lesbian woman went and tricked the sperm bank and found out who the guy who donated the sperm to her was. And it gets better. She then tracked down the sperm donor, met him online and made friends with him, met him at a bar, and got his DNA. She then checked the DNA against her kid and found out he was the father. She then sued him for support, for child support. She won.
I mean, the guy is donating sperm. He probably doesn't have a lot of money to
Doesn't make a difference.
to start
No,
off.
a lot of people do it out of goodness, out of their hearts, to give other people babies. And, people could do that. That's what we do. I mean, we try to do good. If we can't donate a kidney, we donate some sperm. We donate blood. I donate blood all the time.
A woman asked me to help her have a kid too. This is why I was married.
Okay. Again, these are the things that we have to understand, that they take advantage of you in this country. And you can't allow that. You have to fight back. But again, there's so much injustice. And that's what I'm trying to tell you with Trump. Injustice with President Trump. We all, even if you don't like Trump, right here alone, you stand up and you don't allow him even everybody saying he's crazy, mentally ill. Where? Show me.
By the way, he has a great, he says a couple of times, he's said it in different speeches, if they can come after me, imagine what they can do to you.
Yeah, and they've done it to me. They've come after me. And now I'm very careful. Very, very careful. Very, very careful. You all have to be careful. And I want you to know something. Those of you who think that America or the city or the laws they keep changing on you or raising your taxes, try to do something. We have this congestion pricing. You know that?
I mean, it's around the corner, but there's multiple lawsuits. I got to pray that one of them.
So no. Jersey is coming and fighting us for the congestion pricing not to have it. I'm so proud because we might be able to knock it out. They just
to be fair, Staten Island is also involved.
No. So now Jersey made a deal with New York to get a piece of the action.
You're kidding me?
No. So the lawsuit's going to be dropped. You watch. Do you believe it? The lawsuit's going to be. That's all it is. It's a deal. It's a game. It's a game.
So the congestion pricing at peak is supposed to be $15
each way.
Well, what do you mean each way? Once you enter the city, they're going to charge you $15.
Correct. And then when you have to, and you go, and then you go to the other end of the city, and then when you cross back to go downtown, you have to pay again.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not only entering, it's crossing the city.
Okay. Anyway,
I don't know.
How
You're
long?
Right.
No. It's in. Once you're in the zone, you get charged $15, and that's it. But what is the likelihood it will stay at $15?
No, it won't.
I mean, how fast do you think it'll go to 20?
I remember the Verrazano Bridge at $1.75 we were bitching. Now it's like $30.
They told Staten Islanders once the bridge is paid for, it'll be free.
Right. Never.
That bridge has been paid over a million times.
Yeah. And by the way, if Donald Trump at all testifies in this case, all these prosecutors are going to go after him and make him talk about his civil fraud case, and they try to knock his what do they want? His to impeach his credibility. I mean, come on, everybody knows about this. How are you asking even jurors, do you not know about Trump's cases or about it? He's the president of the United States. Everybody knows everything about him. How could you be impartial anyways?
By the way, just to get back to what we were saying before, Bay D says congestion pricing is the biggest scam, especially for residents living under 60th Street. They're basically trapped in their homes.
Did you hear? Do you know who these jurors are who are against Trump? I know one is an oncology nurse, one is a corporate lawyer, a man supposedly, and a man with no spare time. I have no idea what that means. I mean, who are these jurors? I mean, they did give us a list of all of them. What are they?
Listen, if you have time to be on a jury, then you're probably unemployed.
No, they forced you. I was forced to go on a jury. I was there for 5 days. I was bitching and hollering about it. And then on the 6th day, they made a deal, and we were released.
What kind of case?
Somebody was injured. And I told the judge, I said, Judge, I am a contractor that doesn't like when these workers lie about getting injured and suing for millions of dollars. And the judge still kept me on the case.
No, it's very hard to get. And now they even pull in lawyers on juries too, I heard.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense to me.
I know. They had an impeachment trial for what's his name again? Mayorkas? What's his name?
Oh, the Homeland Security.
The Homeland Security guy. And now this is what I am proud of the Democrats. The Republicans tried to make this stupid impeachment thing. It's even though he deserves to be impeached and he does a crappy job, I got that. So he should be out. They started the trial. The Democrats said, listen, we're not going to play this game. Boom, over, voted, canceled it out right away, the Senate. They didn't waste millions and millions of dollars running a whole stupid impeachment trial that would have taken weeks and embarrassed the whole country. And anyways, he would have won. Anyways, he would have got dismissed against party lines.
Yeah, but it's not about that. It's about exposing the incompetence of the Biden administration.
Expose it with hearings. Expose it with criminal cases. An impeachment doesn't work.
Well, you know, Heshy, everyone in Homeland Security, as soon as Biden came in, got a raise and a promotion.
Wow.
That's why you don't hear the Homeland Security people jumping up and down like, hey, we need to do something, or we need to do more on the border. Each and every one of them got raises and promotions. That's why the union has been totally quiet there.
I don't know, my friend. I'm very, very upset about what's going on in this country, and you people out there are allowing it to happen. You're sitting there quietly. Everybody, you told me there's going to be a civil war. There's never going to be a civil war because I saw the video you said.
By the way, Heshy, to the audience here, that movie, Civil War, it's not a...
He sent me a clip for a movie that he watched that America will go to civil war.
Well, the guy is talking about that a civil war in the movie... He's showing you, he's not romanticizing a war. He's showing you what a civil war in the United States would look like, and how horrific that would look like.
Of course.
The atrocities committed.
Of course.
I mean, when you see there's a scene where the Lincoln Memorial gets blown up in a firefight, and you're like, holy crap, what the hell just happened?
Right.
I mean, you're just not used to seeing that. I
mean,
you see it in a disaster.
We're never going to have another civil war, brother killing brother.
Well,
shooting,
I hope not.
The way shooting. We will have some kind of a revolution or marches or whatever. But again, I don't even believe that will happen. I believe we're going to sit quietly and allow us to be dictated to, just like that Obama. We gave Obama the power to make change, and instead he just continued to rack us over the coals and be more vicious. And we have Biden over there doing nothing.
Well, it's the third term. This is the third term of Obama. Let's be honest. Who's running the show?
It doesn't make a difference.
Joe Biden is not running the show.
Third term, 12th term, you're making us suffer. Market goes up, market goes down. We lose money. You're playing the game. They're playing such a game that they're not letting the little people take care of each. Inflation.
By the way, Heshy, talking about playing the game, just jumping in there on that. Did you see that the unemployment data is given out to the big banks first before it's revealed to the public?
Yeah.
So BlackRock, Chase, all these people that trade in the market, they're the ones that get the information first. They get a first peek at it.
Yeah.
So is that fair?
No. And what happens is we all struggle. We all get hurt. And we need a change. I can't change the world, but I can change my city. When I get into that city council, I promise you I'm going to give them such a hard time. And it's not like I have 400 members like the Assembly or the Senate. It's 51 members that I can scream and torture and embarrass and tell each and every one of you 8 million Americans what's going on, 8 million New Yorkers what's going on there. And they're telling all these migrants now, we have 168,000 migrants in New York City. And the city is taking care of 66,000 of them. How much? But our homeless, which we have 80,000 regular homeless, are homeless on the streets. Maybe we have a couple of hundred in the shelters.
By the way, we are at Great Depression levels of homelessness.
Yeah.
We have not seen homelessness in this city since the Great Depression.
It's just crazy like this, and we're letting these people suffer, and it's children on the street. I have no problem that you're a migrant and you want to come to this country and be fair, but at least bring them in fair. At least prepare us. Don't just bring them in and throw them onto the streets and make us suffer. And some of these migrants are going to get the jobs. They learn what workman's comp is. They're going to get injured on a job because we hired them, and then they're going to sue us. That's a game that goes on. You know that?
But some of them were complaining at the city council that they were complaining about the free food that the city was giving them.
It was no good.
It was no good.
But they had no
imagine
food
that
at the
free
border.
food. The quality is not that good.
Yeah. Now, I have a question for you. President Donald Trump is complaining at the jury selection about the judge. And they're trying again to gag him. I'm allowed to complain about my judge. I'm allowed to complain about my jury. I'm allowed to complain about anything I want. This is the great country. The First Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, everything. How do you stop a guy like that? Why do you stop a guy?
I can see where the judge would, and again, we need Nicole on this. I can see where a judge would say, you know what, I'm going to put a gag order.
Why?
Because you know what's going to happen. A lot of people are a lot of nutcases are going to call up the judge. They're going to call up his home. They're going to threaten his family.
But they should do it anyways.
No,
I'm not.
they should not do that.
They shouldn't do it anyways. But you think they're not going to know what's going on? You don't need Donald Trump to tell us what they're doing is wrong. Donald's saying that they're ruining me. This guy is no good. I want somebody better.
Well, I mean, that's not how the system works.
I
But
know.
first of all, he shouldn't even be. This is a ridiculous case. I mean, he's getting a criminal thing because he gave some money to some woman to keep her quiet. I mean, that happens in Washington, D.C.
And it's
every
not only
week.
that, it's from business because he covered up business records. You know how many companies cover up business records? Everybody across the board covers up business records. Every one of these politicians are covering up business records, you know?
Listen, the Senate and the House of Representatives and the Senate, they have an amount that they settle every year that they settle for sexual harassment lawsuits and whatever. We never find out. We know the amount. Let's say it's $10 million. I don't know the amount offhand, but we never find out the breakdown, office by office, which office has problems, which office is getting complaints all the time. We're not getting any of that information. Yeah, and that's our money.
Yeah. It's our money that we're getting. By the way, it's called preemptory challenges to have people removed from the jury. That means you can, when a jury is selected, you're allowed to just deny them to be on the jury, and the judge is telling everybody, no, you can only have 10 of them, and each side already used up 6. It's not fair. He's supposed to have just unlimited amount. It's just unacceptable what this judge is doing. It's and again,
Beatty called it a kangaroo court.
it is a kangaroo, and you know he's supposed to be going to the Supreme Court, and they're not letting him. Like you said, they're not letting him go to his own kids' thing. They don't let him go to the Supreme Court to argue to change a venue or to just it's. I never saw this before. I mean, you actually see America, what's going on. You actually see New York. Do not vote for Biden. I don't know what you're happy about. You know, the interest rates are going up, not down. We should be lowering interest rates. Why not? Why not? Inflation should be better. There is none. You're playing the game. Under Trump, we had no problems. And all of a sudden, under Biden, we have inflation. Now we're paying 8% interest instead of 2.5% interest.
50% increase in fuel costs since 5 years ago.
200% increase in interest on your money. That you're paying interest, but you did it many times ago. It's just unacceptable. I have a question for you. Columbia University, again a college, you have them instigating anti-Israel, anti-Semites. You had these stupid Palestinian protesters hooked up tents on the front lawn, and they let this happen to protest so the university doesn't do business with Israel. Now, why isn't the and she's standing there and they're asking her from the what is it? What's that stupid comment? From the sea to the river, should they all die?
From the river to the sea. That's
right,
what they
from
say.
the river. Who cares? Whatever they say, and they asked the college president, "Is this anti-Semitic? Is this bad?" Well, it shouldn't be said, but I don't think it's anti-Semitic. Really. From the river to the sea, where they're going to clear away all the Jews. That's basically what they're trying to say. You know that's anti-Semitic.
I have no doubt about that. I mean, what else is it?
She's not saying
it's a
anything
promotion
about
of genocide.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's no question about that.
Now, they suspended a kid who went to one of these Palestinian protests, and he bought this spray bottle that had like a fake fart and a fake smell. And he sprayed it in the air. And people said, oh, I got sick, whatever. Now, these people are protesting illegally over there. The guy sprays a fake fart spray in the air, and they suspend him, but they don't suspend these Palestinian protesters.
Listen, you know, when colleges, I don't know what happened to it, used to have policies about how you could act on a college campus. I mean, now it's totally out the window. If you're saying I'm going to a Palestinian protest, you can do anything you want, or a transgender protest, you can do anything you want.
Today in America,
say you're coming out for an Israeli protest, like I'm coming out to support Israel, they're going to throw the book at you.
I know. It's just it's ridiculous. Again, what is going on in this country, let me give you an example. There was a 13-year-old girl. Somehow she got a gun. She was playing with it and showing it to her brother and her friends.
How did she get a gun, though?
I have no idea. 13-year-old.
That's
By mistake, the gun went off and she shot her 10-year-old brother. Cops came running, and the cops told, the kid is, from the projects, whatever. He says, yeah, I was shot on the street by some guy walking by. And the cops believed that in the beginning, till they did some investigating, and they found out that it was the sister who shot him, and they came to arrest this 13-year-old girl, which I don't know what they're going to do with her, because they have to let her go. She's a minor. How does a 13-year-old girl get a gun in this country, in this city? Easily.
I mean, there's plenty of drug gangs.
Where does she even have the money? The parents don't even have money. And how did she get that kind of money?
She could have picked it up from a crime scene that it was thrown after a shooting.
No. Really?
Sometimes gangs, they'll do a shooting and they'll throw the gun. You haven't seen enough mafia movies to know that.
Or maybe you mean they gave it to a kid so it would disappear. They would.
Yeah, they just toss it or whatever, and it gets picked up on the street. I mean, listen, you see streets in New York with bunches of used needles. What makes you think a gun wouldn't be thrown around?
But they give me tickets for having rat droppings, which are just a joke. It's not even rat droppings. If you don't have a cover for your garbage can, you get a ticket for rat droppings. They just ticket you. They lie. And I showed the judge. I had 2 tickets for that. I said, look, judge, I have receipts. I have pest control. What do you want from me that if you have rats coming from the street or from your gutters and your sewers or your train stations that you don't properly clean? During COVID, they were mopping down. They were washing down the handle. Stupidity. Now they stopped all of a sudden. So now you have me in trouble for having rats. I don't know how to stop the rats. I have pest control. I do my pest control in the house. I clean around outside. And still you're going around giving people tickets. And the mayor gets on television and says, oh, rat infestation is down since we put covers on all the garbage cans. That is such a lie.
You know where the rats came from? Let's be honest. They came from all these enclosures that are outside restaurants, okay? And then all these people eat in these enclosures. All the food goes on the floor. What do you think happens to the crumbs and all the food? They sweep it under the enclosure. And for the rats, it's like rat paradise.
I mean, you walk in there and it is just crazy. It's crazy.
By the way, somebody wants to know, how are you going to lead your Seder?
So before I do that, I forgot to tell you my joke of the day. Can I tell you a joke?
Absolutely.
So the mail for my son, Yaakov just got engaged. So he was in college till now, and I called him up. I said, Yaakov, the mail is piling up, and it's coming from the bank. What do I do? What's in this? So my son said, open it up. I opened up one of the letters, and I said, Yaakov, it says that your account has insufficient funds. And Yaakov answers me back, how could that be? I still have a lot of checks left. Come on, that was a good joke.
Don't quit your day job, Heshy.
Well, I'm going to tell you the best joke of them all. I went upstate with Linda, and I have a client that I'm doing some work here in one of his house. I'm helping him with his expediting and violations and stuff like that. A wealthy man. And he's a farmer. He's really a very wealthy pig farmer. You're going to love this. He's a wealthy pig farmer. And
Jewish?
Jewish guy, not Jew, whatever. He's someone. He told me, but he's
not religious.
There's another guy who's a big time egg producer upstate, one of the biggest egg producers. They make a lot of money upstate there. And again, so I told him I'm coming upstate for the weekend with Linda. Can I come by and bring the papers because I need them signed and notarized? He says, yeah, come on by. When I get to the farm, right away, his wife, beautiful wife, Mary, comes out and says, oh, how are you? She kisses Linda. I says, Mary, where's Mike? She says, oh, he's in the barn. Don't get mixed up. He's the one wearing the hat, with all the pigs. I thought that was funny. Like, she called him a pig, but she said, he's not really a pig because... I like the joke. So last week, by the way, I had one of my clients come in. He says, Heshy, I didn't get the joke with the airplane crashing. I had to explain it to him. But at least he listened to the show. I was very happy about
so
that.
They want to hear about your Seder. They want to hear about it.
So let me explain.
And another question was, and I have no idea what this means, what do you use for mira? Horseradish?
Whoa, that's so the Jews were in Egypt for 40 years, for 200 something years. So when we came out and we made the Seder, we had to remember the bitter times. So during the Seder, we eat something bitter, a bitter herb you call it, to remember the pain of what happened to us in Egypt. And so people use some horseradish or some other kind of bitter herb to eat with the
Why
matzah.
romaine lettuce? I don't think romaine lettuce is bitter.
I know, but it's some kind of you do it, you mix that with the other kind of bitter, from the horseradish, and it just, I don't know, you're supposed to eat it that way. That's what I do.
Okay. I'm just.
The Seder, my Seder, I want to tell you something. I want to tell you a story about a lady that I met by the name of Esther Magid. Okay, Esther Magid was when my son Yaakov was born. I was in the hospital and I met this older lady, a very nice lady, and she tells me, "Listen," and I was visiting people in the hospital. And she tells me, "Listen, I want to tell you something," and she says, "You know how you should be happy about your child." She says, "When I was in the Holocaust, she was in the Holocaust. She was in Auschwitz." She says, "I was in Auschwitz and my husband was killed." And I saw the smoke and the ashes going up, and I knew he was one of them, and I loved my husband. And when I found out like a week later that I was pregnant, in Auschwitz, if you were pregnant, they killed you right away. There's no questions about it. And a couple of the ladies found out about it, her friends, and they took it to the lady doctor. There was a lady doctor called Giselle Pearl, a wonderful lady. And they called her like Dr. Mengele, the doctor of Auschwitz. They called her the doctor of Auschwitz as well, because she went around helping ladies and trying to make people better and saving lives. And they took it to Giselle Pearl, and Giselle said, "Listen, if the baby comes, you have to kill the baby, because if you live, they're going to kill you." And the lady said, Esther said, "I don't want to kill my baby." She's crying. "You have to kill the baby." Anyways, it came time. She hid the baby. Somehow the Nazis didn't catch her, and Esther came time to have pregnant. They took her to Giselle, and Giselle took her into a dirty bathroom. And in the bathroom, they gave birth to the baby. And right away, as the baby came out, as he was crying, Giselle killed the baby.
God.
And as Giselle started crying, she says, "I know that I took this life, but when I get out of here, I'm going to make new lives happen. I'm going to make it happen to be a life for life." And Esther cried. Anyways, long story short, Esther survived the war. She made it to the end of the war, and she came to Borough Park, right here to my neighborhood. She remarried, and she got pregnant. And as she walked around, she just didn't know what obstetrician to use. Everybody recommended her different obstetricians. And as she walked around in a daze, one day she walked on 15th Avenue here in my neighborhood, and she saw a little itty-bitty sign, "Obstetrician, Dr. Giselle Pearl." She says, "It's not possible. Most of my friends didn't live." She says, "There's no way this is Giselle Pearl from the Auschwitz." She walked in and she saw Giselle Pearl standing over there. You believe it? And the two ladies saw each other. She didn't think Giselle would remember her. She remembered it. They started crying and they ran and they hugged each other and they kissed each other. And she told Giselle that she's pregnant. And Giselle said, I'm going to deliver your baby." Anyways, as time went on,
Wow, what a story.
it gets better. Giselle Pearl came to the time, and she took, this time not in a dirty bathroom, she went to Maimonides Hospital, where Giselle delivered thousands of babies, I heard, through the years. And she delivered this lady's baby, Esther Magid's baby, and as the baby came out, she screamed, "A life for a life. All those lives that we lost in Auschwitz, here's a new life." And right away, Esther, we don't name our babies right away, Esther named the baby Chaim. Chaim is a Jewish word for life. And she named this baby because she now had a new life with her son. By the way, Esther ended up with 3 sons, 4 and a daughter. Miss Giselle Pearl delivered lots of babies in Maimonides and Mount Sinai, and then flew to Israel and became an Israeli, and she died in 1984. They say she delivered thousands, and every time she delivered a baby, she screamed out, "A life for a life." I want to tell you this story for a reason. We need to bring back our lives. We need to watch our children. We can't let them get guns. We need to take care of our babies. We need to protect our city and make it better. We can't stand by and allow Donald Trump to be prosecuted for no reason, whether you think he's crazy or not. It's just wrong. What you see is wrong is wrong. What the Nazis did were wrong. They tell us to forgive the Gaza people. Forgive. Why don't you forgive the Germans? Not the Jews that they killed the 6 million Jews. How about all those Americans and Russian soldiers that were dead? Why don't we just forgive the Germans? Why don't we just forgive them? Why did we have to hang them and prosecute them? Hey, Adolf told you to do it. It's not your fault, or you were all crazy, or you're not crazy. No.
Yeah, but that's a difference, though.
Why?
These are
The Gaza people were put in power, and they came to kill 1,200 Israelis.
You're talking about the Germans and Russians. They fought on a field, and they fought soldier to versus soldier. You're talking about these people came over.
Sweetheart. I'm not talking that. I'm talking these Germans were very sneaky. They went into towns. They rounded up the people. They threw them out of their houses. They said, this is where you're going to live, a ghetto. Then we're going to send you to labor camps. And when they got to the labor camps, they were put on lines and
they
killed.
should never forgive those people.
They were tricked.
They should never forgive those people.
Okay, those are the people that deserve to be punished. This is pure evil. And what we're doing to Donald Trump is evil. What we've done to Israel is evil. What we're allowing these Palestinian protesters, we're allowing them to march in our streets, shut down the Brooklyn Bridge. You know, they shut down the Brooklyn Bridge.
I suffered through that Monday.
And then they shut down the Golden Gate Bridge. You know that? They shut it down for 5 hours.
I heard they also shut down the Chicago airport.
Okay, it's crazy. But in England, they wouldn't allow that. In England, they took them, they carried them off the street and threw them to the side. That's the way it's supposed to be. I have no idea where this movement of craziness is coming to effect. This is just crazy stuff. I don't know.
So do you want to... Final thoughts?
Oh, yeah. So how am I going to run my Seder? My son...
And also what wine you choose for the 4 cups.
I'm not an alcoholic. I hate to drink. I really do. And recently, I was at the... You know, my son was engaged. He got engaged this Sunday to a beautiful girl, Rayleigh. And so at the engagement, all my young nephews and nieces, even some of them were not 21, drinking. And they actually got Yaakov drunk. A little tipsy. I wouldn't let Yaakov come home. I said, you can't drive. And I was very careful. I was very angry at all my nephews and nieces. So I want to tell you what happened.
It was his engagement
party. Stop it.
He's allowed to have a little...
No, you can't. You can't. If you're sitting in your house and you're sitting at your couch, you can have some wine or you can drink. Or if you're a party, but you have to have some kind of, designated driver.
I agree with that, I'm sure, but I mean, he's entitled to have a couple of drinks.
No, he's not. No, and it's his. Why did I have to entertain all the people when he's really the guy who's getting engaged? I'm really a guest, and I had to entertain.
Come on, you like entertaining people.
I know, and you know what? All those people in Woodmere, they were all my fans. They're older people, 30, 40, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds. People were taking pictures. I didn't know I'm very famous in Woodmere. I'm pretty popular. My new in-law said, wow, we didn't know how popular I was.
Black Beauty says, by the way, you drink Johnny Walker Blue Label.
Yeah, I do drink Johnny Walker. That's right. But not on Passover. But on Passover, you're not allowed to drink. And I do drink Blue Label, but very little. Only when me and Linda are sitting there all alone and nobody sees us. And every once in a while, of course, at an event. But really, me and Linda don't drink. So at my Passover Seder, I'm going to take out grape juice, a grape juice kind of wine, and that's what me and Linda are going to drink. My son, Abraham, was born on the Seder night. And I don't know if I told you the story, and I'm going to tell it to you again because we have 3 minutes to go.
Born or conceived?
He was born. Me and Linda were not going to be religious that year. I said, Linda, I'm done raising my family. I'm finished. I don't want to do this anymore. I made 14 Seders for my mother. I said, I'm done. I want to go away. And Linda was pregnant. And at the Seder night, my mother begged me to make her a Seder. In the middle of the Seder, right before I left, the baby popped out in my hands. I delivered my little Abraham at home. I delivered him myself with blood all over me. So I love Passover. How I'm going to lead the Seder, I'm going to lead it with 4 cups of grape juice so I don't get drunk. I'm going to run the Seder. Usually my Seder took a very short time for when my father...
Is that a true story? Did you really deliver a baby?
It was in the paper. Not only that, I stood there as I put on Linda's shoe as she was screaming because I called the doctor. I said, Doctor, Linda's screaming. It's the Seder. Doctor said it takes 10 hours to have a baby. I bent down. I put on Linda's first shoe. As I'm putting on the second shoe, plop. He fell into my hands. I swear, it was in the papers. He flopped into my hands. Ask Abraham, ask everybody the story. Blood all over me. I stood there. Linda fell down. I thought the baby was dead. I thought Linda was dead. Then Linda woke up, and then I saw little Abraham crying, blood on me. And then the cops told me on my knees, 911, my sister who had Down syndrome called 911, said, Heshy, they told me statistically, don't rip that cord. And for 30 minutes, I watched this little creature crying, this little nothing. And the cops came to help me cut the cord. I took him to the I'm going to tell you the ending of the story. I took him to the hospital, and from then on in, every Passover, we have 20, 30, 40, 50 people. And when I walked home in the snow, I looked up at God. I said, God, okay, you're right. You showed me a lesson. My worst day when my father died, Passover, now you gave me back my son, and of course I named my son after my father. And when I got home, I sat with my mother. It was like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. And my mother says to me, Heshy, I'm going to live to see that baby get married. I said, Mommy, you're 70 years old. You're never going to make it. And you know what? On the 24th year, she was in perfect health. She made it to his wedding. She was at the wedding. She waited 7 days as we celebrated. And on the last day after his last celebration, she died.
Wow, Heshy, that's
So
something
I
else.
do believe in God. I do believe in Passover. And this year I'm going to have a problem with the Passover Seder because we were going to go to Florida. We were going to take 20, 30 people with us. But my son didn't have a baby. And I know it's going to be born on Passover, which is cool. So now me and Linda are at home fixing over the house. We're going to have me, her, and Yaakov. And we're going to invite some people, some people who are, who need a meal or from jail or whatever it is. So we're not going to have a lot of people, maybe two.
Can the Goyams come?
The goyim come. I always have goyim at my Seder. Okay. I like it because, so I always say it ends like 3 o'clock in the morning. About 12 o'clock, we take a break. We go outside. Usually we sit around and we do we do like a little bonfire, mushrooms and stuff, marshmallows, but not now. Now we're done, so we're not going to do that. Anyways, welcome to our show. Goodbye to the show. Thank you for listening to my show, everybody. I love you.